Okay, so today we're going to be looking at adding Google Analytics tracking to your forms in Webflow. We've already covered adding Tag Manager in our first video and post, and adding Google Analytics 4 to Tag Manager in Webflow. So now we'll be looking at how you can easily track your Webflow forms. So just some very quick housekeeping. If you don't know how to set up Tag Manager in Webflow, or you're struggling with Google Analytics 4, you can check out the 2 blog posts on that. I'll stick the links in the comments, and it's also on this blog post. And we're going to start off by heading to variables in Tag Manager. So you're going to open the container you created. You're going to go to variables. I think we already ticked all of these on in the BBS video. Yes, we did. You're going to head to configure if you haven't done this already, and may as well just check everything on. And you'll see it lags a bit. So if I take this off, right, and you'll see on the bottom left hand corner they're loading. So just tick them all on, and then you're going to want to wait for this list to populate completely. And you're going to head over to submit and publish, because we want these variables live. And then we're going to cheat a little, but first let's head over to our Webflow project. So this was the test project that we just cloned in the last video of Webflow, and we'll be using this contact form at the bottom of the landing page, and then we've got the exact same contact form on the contact us page, just got a different ID, and we'll be using them to track and show different ways of filtering when you're tracking forms. But we're going to kick off by cheating a bit first. So we've just published the site. We've published the changes we made by adding on the variables. And we're going to go ahead and go to triggers. And we're going to create a new trigger. Why are there no triggers in here? They're just all pages. We're going to go ahead and go to triggers, and we're going to hit new. And we're just going to call this generic form submit. And this is just going to make it easier for you. Then you don't have to think about much. You're going to go and add a form submission, and you're going to say all forms. So we will be tracking all forms. And what we're going to do is we're going to preview the page, submit a form, and then grab the variables straight from the preview so that we don't have to guess at all. So again, same thing as before, we're going to save, we're going to submit, and the people who do this properly add version name, version description, saying, oh, we just added generic form submit, but we don't need any of that. It's fine. It's just useful if you ever have to roll back. So this should be live now. Go to the site, and we're going to go down here. And if we look at the top over here, we've got a few plugins that are useful for us. And we've got the Google Tag Assistant. It's a legacy plugin, but it still works. So we're going to want to enable that. We've also got this guy that you're definitely going to need. And he's not responding now. There we go. So this is the Explorer for the preview. And this guy is the Tag Assistant Companion, and you want both of them turned on. The links are in the first post on setting up Tag Manager if you don't have them, so you can just go over there, grab them, install the 2 Chrome plugins, and you should be good to go. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head back to this home page first so we can do site tracking, copy the URL. We're going to go to Tag Manager, and we're going to go to the workspace again after we published. I'm going to click preview so that we can preview the page with Tag Manager installed, so it's capturing everything. Add that in. You want to include debug signal just in case. and we're going to go ahead and say connect. And what you'll see happening now is it's loading the page. We've got Tag Manager running over here. So we're just going to minimize that. And you'll see the page is now connected. So everything we do now gets tracked as if it is. So we're clicking around, we're clicking on about, and you'll see now that, yeah. There we go. See, there's the page, there's history. Let's see if we contact, go back, and you can see we clicked on a link. Everything is tracking perfectly. Cool. And we're going to head back again. So we've got a generic form trigger, or at least that's what we called it. And basically what that is going to do is it's going to track everything. We didn't put in any filters, so every form submit on the website will be tracked. So let's go Jakes at test.com. So that doesn't really matter. And we're going to call this test. And I'm just going to hit send. And it's thinking, and your form has been submitted. And now if we head back over here, we can see that a form submit event has been tracked. If we click into that, you'll see nothing happened. We don't have a tag set up. We only have a trigger set up. So we're going to go to variables, and we're going to scroll down, and now there's a number of ways we can filter this. If you only have one form on the site, it doesn't matter. You're tracking it now, it's all good. But now what happens if you add another form? You want to track them separately in Google Analytics. How are you going to distinguish between the two? So we've got all these variables that we turned on, and that's going to make it super easy for us. So we've got a number of options, and we'll go through them, and we'll implement a bunch of them to see. So if we scroll down, you can see the first thing you'll notice is we have a click ID, which is that form's name from Webflow. And you'll see it's also over here. Where is it? We've lost it. Here we go, form ID, sorry. So there we go. So we can filter using the form name. We can filter using the path, so it's just on the home page. We can, you can go for the URL, but that might change, right? Because you're not going to be on webflow.io forever. You can filter using a button click. So if you go up here, you'll see there was a button. So you could give an ID to the button. And as you can see, like a lot of this is empty now, right? Which means you could also add in variables, right? So if it becomes very complicated, you can head over to your form, you can click on the button, for example, and you can go to custom attributes, and you can give it an attribute and a value, and that'll show up in Tag Manager. Ooh, that'll show up in Tag Manager. So that'll be really simple. You want to try and stick to these guys, so otherwise you're going to have to go and create additional attributes where we just ticked on all the attributes. You'll have to create a custom attribute there for it to track. So that the easiest, for example, would be to just give it form text or whatever existing attribute it is. So we're going to go ahead now, and we're going to filter the form using the form name, right? Oh, we're going to click ID, but it's the same. We're going to go over here, copy it properly. And this is why you don't want to start off without the generic trigger, because then you're going to have to remember what the form's name is, add W form in front of it, and do all of that. So we are going to let's just dock this guy again. Going to head into Tag Manager, and we're going to go to Tags, and we're going to go create a trigger. So we're going to write the tag first, and we'll call this landing page form. form. I'll just say it's GA4. We don't have universal analytics for this one because it's being phased out, so we're not going to go through the whole process as it's much more complicated creating goals in universal analytics than it is events. And we're going to go and hit event. Yeah, that's correct. Select the configuration tag. So that was a GA4 tag we set up in the second video, sorry. And we'll call this landing page form underscore form. You're going to want to be careful here when you do event in Tag Manager. Google Analytics is case sensitive, so you want to stick to lowercase just to make it simple. Give it an easily recognizable name, and you can modify this in Google Analytics 4 to give it more user-friendly names. And you can add other properties here, right? So let's say you want to create a list, an audience list that you want to use in Google Ads or whatever. Someone submitted a form and you want to remarket to them. You can go form submitted true. True. And now this user's properties will be tagged with a form submitted true value, and you can go create an audience in Google Analytics, export that to other things that it's linked with. So let's create the trigger. So we've got the generic trigger. That one's going to fire on everything, so we can't use that one. We're going to create a new trigger, and we'll call this landing page form trigger, and we'll just say it's a form submission, and we want to do some forms. So instead of going all forms, we're going to go some forms, and we're going to say the form ID, and here you can go contains equals, etc. So we just want to go equals the form name we just copied. I'm going to go save, and then submit and publish. And that's about it. We're done. It's been submitted. Now, if we go into here, we can close this guy. We're going to refresh it real quick. We're just going to hit refresh on this home page. Make sure the tag manager loaded in the background. Grab that URL again because I keep forgetting. Going to go to workspace. We're going to preview everything again just to test it. And we're going to connect. So now we installed it to track this contact form at the bottom of the home page. There's another contact form on the contact page, and it has a different form ID. So we're going to submit this guy first. So test.com, anything in here, submit. Submission received. Okay, so let's go in here. We'll check there was a form submission. No tags fired. Go into variables, we can see why, because this form has a different name, right? Let's click ID again, sorry. Same name, here's the form ID, it's different. So now we're seeing, okay, well, we're not tracking that form. Let's head back to the contact us page. Let's go to home. Whoa, what did we do? Let's go to the home page. I forgot to put a back button on this page. That home isn't linked to anything. Okay, here we go. So we're tracking again, Jakes at test.com. Just filling that in. You can have my actual email if you want. There we go. smokeandstudio.com. And we're sending the message. Cool. Contact form submitted. Let's go check. So we've got everything over here. There's a form submission. Let's click on it, go to the top, hit tags again. We'll see, success. This one was tracked. It fired on this trigger because it equal to that form name. There we go, working beautifully. You can see the actual values if you want. Switch back to name. And now if you just click on the page as well, you can see all the tags that are fired. These are firing on all pages. And this guy is the landing page tag for the form from, well, I misspelled that, sorry. So we're good to go. This one works. You can see what number it was fired on if you want to go back and check again. So now we're not tracking this guy over here, right? We've got this button over here. Nothing's happening. Oh, actually we are tracking that guy. So let's go back into Tag Manager now. And we're going to hop over to the second form. And let's try a different way of doing it. So we're going to go to the Contact Us page. I'm going to submit this guy again. Checks at moonstudio.com. Some random text. Send. Okay, let's head over here. We've got form submission again. The correct form submission again. And we'll see, again, nothing fired on this because it's only filtering for the homepage form. So let's try a different method. We've got this guy on the Contact Us page. So let's say you've got a whole bunch of forms, but you only want to track a form at a specific page, and there's only one form there. You can get more creative, and let's do a page path filter. So we're just going to copy Contact Us. I'm going to head into Tag Manager again, create a new tag. Oh, why am I publishing? Sorry. New tag. Contact us page form. Tag configuration, same as before. We want to do an event. We want the event to go to the GA config tag. We'll call this the contact page form. We're going to leave out the user parameter there. It's not necessary for this. And we'll just call it contact of page form trigger. And we are going to say form submissions. We're checking all of them. We're going to go for the page path. You can say contains equals. Contains fine. There's no other pages here. Save. Submit. Publish. Continue. Okay, we should be sorted. So let's go ahead and close those guys again. I'm going to go in here, back to workspace. You could actually just hit refresh in the preview, but we'll do it the long way around. Let's head back. We're gonna, actually we'll fill this one in again, just again. Doesn't really matter. And we're gonna go to the contact page. And submit, and let's go see what happened to the two forms. So we are live. We've got a form submit. It was on the home page and it's filtered for the form ID. We've got another one on the Contact Us page there was a form submit, a tag fired. Let's look at this tag. It filtered for page path, and that's live. Now, let's head into Google Analytics. Here we go. That's us in South Africa. One user live on the site. Head over to reports. Go to real time. We should see the events coming in. It's loading very slowly, but there we go. We've got a contact page form submission. We've got the landing page form submission. We are pretty much good to go. We can also go up here, actually go up here and record. And if we were to refresh this, right? We'll leave that for now. Cool, so it's tracking in Google Analytics. You will see, if you go to configure, and you go to events, it's not here yet. Events lag by a day, but in a day's time they'll show up here, and if you want to add them as conversions, it's as simple as ticking them on. Alternatively, you can click into here. If you're in a real rush, though, I wouldn't recommend this, it causes weird things to happen sometimes. You can go, what was the event's name again? Tags. Let's just go for the landing page form, and we'll collect that. We'll call it form. We'll grab this guy's name. We'll head back into analytics, and we're going to force a conversion. Oh, didn't copy. Sorry. I'm going to click in here again. Copy. We're going to force a conversion on that so we don't have to wait a day to set it up. Landing page form as a conversion. Let's head back to real time over here in the reports. And we're going to have to go ahead, kill this, reload the whole thing on Bob. Oh, yeah, we didn't save this, so let's stay here, save. Might as well publish that change. Continue. Head back to Workspace. Click Preview. Refresh the page. Everything's connecting so we can monitor it's working properly. It was the home page form. We'll go Jakes. Some random text. Check that it's firing. Yes. The form submitted and fired. The tags firing. Everything is good. And we're going to Google Analytics. And if we did it right, the conversion event is supposed to be showing up. It may be lagging a little. Report snapshots. Let's see what's in there. We're not getting anything. It was just lagging. There we go. Landing page conversion. It worked. We're good to go. So yeah, one last thing. We just did two methods, right? You can use click IDs. You can use click text. So yeah, we'll see if we go into the variable here again. There's a whole bunch, right, that you can use. Again, you can use combinations, right? So you could go, if there's a whole bunch of forms on the page, you could go, you want the form ID and another variable. So you would just go to the trigger again, contact page form. So we've got the URL on this guy, on this trigger. Oh, we've got the URL on this trigger. We want to add another variable that it has to filter by, and we can go and say form ID contains Webflow, whatever the form's name is, and it'll only get a combination of the two. And that's that. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the comments.